Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another dose of T-Junction and giving way to some biscuits. It is still autumn here in the West End, and it's going into winter. And with that in mind, while this is about a show about retail and the high street, I was down in Little Italy on College Street earlier this month. And it's always a fun place to go down to because there's some interesting stuff down there. I wasn't there to go shopping. I wasn't even there for coffee. I was there to go to the doctor. Well, actually, to go for x-rays, but nothing serious. Nonetheless, while I was down there, of course, I found this rather interesting church. And some roadworks. Strange to say, but it does affect the TTC, which thus does affect the people on the road, which does affect business. But that's not the only thing that affects business. If you take a close look at this picture in the left-hand corner, just behind the cars there, under the trees, there's some tents. And this is where some of our local homeless people are currently staying, due to the lack of facilities in the city. So I'd like to give a shout out to our Mayor Oliver Chow, who's just recently remedied some of these issues or is in the process of remedying these issues, due to some either misunderstandings of what the city needs to be able to provide for all of these people. But at the same time, there was no hassle. It was midday. There wasn't a lot of people around. But at one point, what I thought was a TTT, a bus stop, was in fact a queue for a food bank. Again, only my own confusion in not knowing where I was and what was going on in the road was I confused that it was a bus stop, but it wasn't. It was for the food bank, and they were queuing to go in. A range of people from they could even be resident in the area already. They could actually have homes and even possibly part-time jobs. Going to food banks doesn't necessarily actually mean you're homeless anymore. It just means it's 2 days away from payday and you've got nothing left in the fridge as well. So there's a group and they were quiet and carrying on. I didn't take any photographs of them. That just seemed rude. And then you've got the roadworks here and these kind of things, homeless people, queues of people, confusing people for bus stops. Not all of us are wide awake, even at 12 o'clock in the day. They're actually putting in a cycle lane here, or improving the cycle lanes and pavements and trying to sort it out. I noticed further up they had in fact completed certain stretches further to the west of the road where the cycle path is supposed to go. I think that they're just making the road, I'm not quite sure. I think the pavements are quite wide, so I think they're using some pavement space here to give more space to cars, trams, buses, whatever else is going up and down. It's actually a tram down College Street, it's not buses. Of course it is. Anywho, so yeah, and it's coming up for winter, it's autumn now. We have got to get the people off the streets. And I mean, I was wandering around and there's a lot of, I know a lot of people are trying to get people into the retail sections, especially on some place like College Street. You want businesses down at the bottom, and I didn't really notice many empty buildings. Or saying that, I noticed what I thought was an empty building. It's called the Nest. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that needs to be given us such a wake-up call because it actually brings the entire neighborhood down. Even the roadworks couldn't bring the road down any further than the Nest did, as far as what the street looks like. And they're going to have this wonderful street fixing, and it's all going to look pretty, and we're all going to have our homeless people house, and it's going to be down the road looking a mess. So whoever owns that needs to tidy up front so the day people can actually look on it with pride, as opposed to, what is that? I thought it could be a nice, handy homeless shelter for people in desperation during winter. These things happen. Like, people get caught out in the cold. Last week they had a job and this week they don't. That's how bad things can be sometimes. So Yeah, I don't know how it's affecting businesses. I don't think it's affecting them too much. I did notice that the coffee shops that were open along the way had people in them. There were people sitting outside them. There were people walking in and out of shops. They were all open, so it wasn't stopping people from doing business. And of course, it was also it was a Friday. Was it a Friday? Yes, it was a Friday that I took the photographs. Lunchtime, so it was quietish for the time of day, but nonetheless. Um, and while they're busy improving these things, and we're trying to get people into better housing facilities and tents next to the church. Oh, and shout out to all the churches who are busy trying to help all these homeless people and house them, or even just let them use their garden facilities to put up a tent. All goes to help and make sure you feel a little bit safer at night. Um, some more artworks. I don't know whether that Mac 8 is supposed to be there or whether that's just somebody's tag. If there's a tag, I wish people wouldn't do that. Such beautiful artwork. I mean, literally, I hardly even noticed the dustbin's there until I was halfway through the photograph. And again, on the other side, making our laneways look a little bit more attractive going up towards the houses. It's a prettier walk. Although saying that we could probably do with some more plant life, not weeds, not weeds. Although, saying that the weeds aren't all bad. So there's that. And after that, I did go up to, well, Little Jamaica. It's literally Little Italy to Little Jamaica, and all I have to do is travel up and down between Bathurst and Oakwood Avenue. Here's another great thing about the TTC at the moment, because they've got all that track maintenance that they're doing down on St. Clair West. You can catch the 90C all the way down to Bathurst Station, which is actually quite nice because you get to expand your horizons a little bit. You really do stretch your legs. Be interested to see what the TTC does with regards to the 90 bus going down Vaughan in between Eglinton and St. Clair, as to whether they do. I mean, I could quite easily see sort of like a whole sort of up and down between St. Clair West and Oakwood Station here, and then of course Bathurst and Oakwood as well. You could do those whole two stretches. You could really cut off a lot of time for a lot of people by having a slightly extended bus route. I mean, I know it used to have the 90B that used to come up in the afternoon. And you're going to have something to come round from there to get up to Oakwood Station. So I'm looking forward to see what the TTC do with that, because again, it'll also help with business. It'll get possibly more people up Vaughan Road. There are a lot of a few businesses down there that could probably do with some more business. I don't know how much they get. That is the unfortunate thing about traveling on the bus. Sometimes they don't walk enough down Vaughan. All I say, that's a very pretty walk. Houses, trees, shaded. Yeah, anyway, nonetheless, that was that. And that is the new Oakwood Avenue station at the top, at the T-Junction of Eglinton Avenue West. And in the hope that more people are going to come up there, we have got an event going on, part of the Nuit, pardon my French, which is hence awful, Nuit Blanche, going on across Toronto and surrounding areas this September. And well, specifically, it varies. I mean, it's going to be in Scarborough at some time, but this weekend it's starting here on Eglinton Avenue West, just to the west of the station. They are putting in an art installation for a couple of weeks. I think from the 23rd of September, what is the invitation say? To the 15th, 23rd of September through to the October the 15th. Now, where they are putting it, they are sort of like blocking off a portion of the road going west. So drivers and businesses are probably already aware of this, because I do know the York Egg BIA has been around to everybody to see them. And this is what we're looking at. They were installed this evening. This video is actually because they've been traveling around all around North America. This particular art one, it's a time thing. It's we can turn back time. We can make it go forward. I do love the lights on it. I'm hoping to go up and see it tomorrow night in all its glory. I do believe tomorrow night is the opening night for it, and so things look pretty at night. Possibly see if we can go up and get some tapas while we're up there. That should be an awful lot of fun. The BIA again, they are doing a proper launching event. And I think it's near about 16, somewhere anywhere between 1600 and 1680. I think it starts about 1600 to 1680. They're going to be stretched along the side of the road there. So keep your eye open for them. Come up to the area and visit them. Bring your friends, especially for a good evening. You may as well enjoy the jerk chicken, the little Jamaican foods and clothing stores. There's a bunch of clothing stores up there, especially for the ladies and the gents. We know we've got our Latina dress. You'll see an advert on my channel for Latina dress. They're at 1608 Eglinton Avenue West. Then not far down at 1592 on Eglinton Avenue West is Elisa's Fashions. I popped in there the other day. Interesting fashions. Again, these are not clothes you are going to find at Gap or H&M. A very interesting line of fashions, and very sort of like Elisa's Fashions has been on Eglinton Avenue West now for, I believe she said, 41 years, and an array of beautiful, beautiful imported outfits. Not one. I don't think there wasn't one the same. I think each different outfit comes in a different size. They vary in price from about $50, $60 to possibly about $1,000 or $2,000. I mean, I saw some off the rack dresses that I know a few brides would love to wear. And if you're paying $1,000 or $2,000 for a wedding dress, that's a good price nowadays. So yeah, appointments available. That's her number there at 416-781-8477 if you'd like to go and have something special. If you're looking for something really special, or if you just want to have a look around, 1592 Eglinton Avenue West. And going back down the road to St. Clair, for somebody who's been in the area and in retail for 41 years up in Little Jamaica, a new business down on St. Clair West. Again, my French is awful. Maison Villette, vintage store, new vintage store out there. This is their pretty window, again, full of really nice clothes, interesting clothes. They do have some men's fashions, but mostly largely, I think, female ladies' fashions at the moment. And I believe they're heading off to a vintage show down near the exhibition place. There's a vintage clothing exhibition going on, if anyone's interested down there. As for me, I'm heading up to Little Jamaica for some tapas. And there's a song that was going through my head was Sher's. Oh, if I could turn back time. There we go. I'd sing it for you, but I'm a little croaky. And that is it, I suppose. Time up for me. I am Tracy McLean Lowe. This is T-Junction. Thank you for joining me once again. Please do like and subscribe. And I will see you within the coming week or so with more news. And in fact, basically, I'm just telling you for the next week, I've gone shopping. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Goodbye.